and they are in danger then of getting run over by evil geniuses. But right now, everybody just kind of grouped up together and waiting patiently. They do have a ward placed over onto the high ground in this mid area.
Yo, why is the whole village? Yo, why is the whole village? Yo, why is the whole village?
The remix, I like it.
They're spamming it nicely.
The battle
Remember when they had the escalating, where it just could get higher pitched as it goes?
Good times.
God, can you imagine if they had done that with your Praise the Moons and Pain? Hear how high your voice could really get there, sir.
The last one would, you know, probably get muted that guy, or maybe anyone who was using the voice chat wheel line. I want to see this mid matchup, how this is gonna go, because like Razor starts attacking you, you use the Cripify. He's starting with the Nether Blast, level 1. Maybe instead of stealing damage, 27 damage he's stolen, 29. Just have extra, and yeah, Abed secures the lane for him. Also, this offlane Dragon Knight, I think there was one, maybe two during the Gamers Galaxy, and I feel the hero, I remember also seeing some of the bans on the Dragon Knight. This hero is still pretty good, you know, just being able to have a lockdown, have a hero that is strong laner, and also have an offlaner that scales. I think this type of hero really fits in what Nightfall wants to do.
I feel like it fits very well into the draft. That's something that, you know, the cut is lacking a bit, is that form of lockdown. A lot of these heroes, you know, they're pretty fast, they're going to be chasing, whatnot, with the Warpath stacks. And also just Pugnam is a pretty fast hero on top of that, but the EG definitely bringing a lot more lockdown to this, which will benefit them quite a bit.
Just a casual stun on Mars from Arteezy. Good. Dropping low, but has bottle right now, has water rune coming out. And mid lane is like I think a lot of players just wanted to see something different on a mid lane. All right, first blood. I wanted to say that, you know, not much changed about the mid lane, where you still have like very boring matchups in terms like someone gets a solo kill, you're like, wow, how did that happen? Like, I want to see some like old school Dota where we don't have that many resources. We try to maybe nerf things down a little bit with the bottle refills, but we still have like 2 and 4 minute water runes. It's also like the bounce runes a bit further away, but still the mid matchups is all about the farming and like how much you can get done with it. It feels like a lot of the times mid lane is just like more farm oriented than the safe lane sometimes.
Down you go. I think it really depends on the heroes for sure, but yeah, we've seen quite the evolution of that middle lane. Like you were saying, you know, the fact that the bounty runes have gotten moved around. You no longer can bottle crow. That was a big thing, you know, back in the day. But
oh yeah, the good old times. Bottle crowing, well, there was one courier. I mean, there were more items in the side shop, so you didn't have to use the courier.
Zoomers don't know what a side shop is.
Side shop is just a secret shop that has...
Oh gosh, all right.
At the bottom.
That just happened. Aid. Still throwing out some hits over here onto Jerax. Does have that salve, though. Potentially turn. Oh gosh, all right. Scourge McDuck falling in the top lane. Crit also sitting very low. Still man fighting here with Jerax. Up at the tower.
Oh, he didn't get the XP. Mars got the XP before. That'd be pretty big. Like, he would be level 4.5 from it. Has an urn, has a position 5, 3.5 minutes in, has a stick. Like, he's good to go with these items. I mean, Arteezy died, but also like Arteezy came back to lane. So Arteezy is also gonna have like some solo levels, and he is gonna have Helm of Iron Will in the next 2 creeps, so I don't think he should die. Has a stick, the spam coming out from the Skyrat to have that. And this is also the 3rd game from Skyrat Mage, so B-God playing 3 games of Sky. I think he knows what the hero can do, like knows the limits, and I mean, EG also, they know how to play against the hero, because B-God definitely did even outperform in the game number 1.
This is definitely a hero he's very, very well known for, so makes sense, but definitely interesting that, you know, they haven't been able to target him quite as much as they would have liked. Spears a little bit off the mark here from Aid. Pretty quiet otherwise, that mid lane right now. Going a bit more Razor favored. I think we're not surprised by that. But I think the other thing you do have to be careful of, right, is once we get closer and closer towards, you know, times where, you know, Abed might want to rotate, might want to go hit the jungle, they have to be careful of that tower going down, right? It is a Pugnam that can be very difficult to have to deal with.
Abed's getting a solo kill in the mid lane. One more hit. Ooh, Pugnam a bit too speedy. He also popped into clarity. Thought maybe I can use the clarity to get another plasma field, but yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Another Wraith Fire Blast getting tossed out. Couple hits there from Gemini to attack.
Structures are fortified.
The fort coming out here. Nice spear over onto Jerax. Doesn't quite connect over onto the tree though. Top lane again, just chasing after crit. Got a decent amount of stacks of goo and snot and whatnot, but not gonna be quite enough to finish off. As on the bottom lane, Aid is taking a lot of damage. Just have the bug upon him. So he's gonna get chased down here by Arteezy and Jerax. Not quite enough damage though to finish him off.
I think it'd be good if like Jerax can get a trade kill. He like gets a kill, not necessarily last hit, but gets an earn charge, dies after that, leaves him solo XP to Arteezy, because right now he's level 4.5, should be definitely higher level, but yeah, it's also come down to that Fever managed to get like solo XP from one of those kills. Let's see, rotation from crit.
I mean, this is what I was expecting. He's gonna try to go use the life drain, but he's gonna get bushwhacked over here onto the side. Kids have to be careful. Bugs are getting tossed out. Be able to get the kill on the Bognet over them. Also the fall. Abed gets himself a double kill here in this middle lane.
I think he might have TP'd in front of Weaver and managed to, you know, deal some damage, and that's why he came with no HP whatsoever. At the smile from Abed, he's like, okay, I'll take that one. Thank you very much.
Like when a mouse wanders into the paw of a cat. More pressure being placed down here on 8, getting very close to that level 6, but
Yo, why is the whole
lacking a bit of that mana here.
Yo, why is the whole village here?
Very scrappy game so far. Ooh. Feel a little bit bad, but they're not going to go and follow too hard underneath the tower. They'll just be able to cut off the bug. Try to get that last little bit. Yeah, we've got the XP here. It does have the level 6 online, working towards the Blink Dagger. And the Vanguard is completed now for the Bristleback.
And this is also the hero that got banned out in the first 2 games, and finally Scourge McDuck as an expert of the hero. We're gonna see him in action, see how much he can do with the hero.
Middle tower is under attack.
Jerax, very aggressive.
Riley's chasing 8 this far back. That's here. Oh, jeez. Oh, no. Too greedy there, Jerax. Too greedy.
Even without popping the stick, I think he should have been fine there. The extra armor that he gets from the tower, extra regeneration, plus 2 bracers, it's a bit too much for Weaver. If he had earn charge, that would definitely be a kill, but yeah, needs to be careful. This is, you know, these sort of things tend to add up.
Optic gets found by Kit. A nice stack for him. A little bit of cash influx. Always feels good. Pressure's being placed on the top lane. They are chasing after this Bristleback, and they apply that break, and he is toast.
Illusion.
Radiant's middle tower.
Hoodwink's already level 6, 9 minutes in, and maybe Bristleback like didn't expect that. I mean, they also picked Bristleback into Hoodwink, into break mechanic, which is a bit surprising, but I guess you can say that, you know, he feels comfortable. EG trying to steal the big stacks. Abe
Dire's top
has
tower
Arena,
is under attack.
but yeah, not gonna be able to find anything.
Yeah, he needs to be able to close that gap, but without the Blink Dagger, it's just a little bit difficult for him right now, especially against Razor, right? Razor's just known for being such a speedy hero as well. In fact, this was the two speedsters in the middle lane. Razor and the Pugnam.
Radiant's middle
Derek's
tower
just
is
doing a
under
little bit more
attack.
scouting here.
Dire's bottom tower.
He's got some nice wards in that jungle too, trying to keep tabs on what's going on, any sort of stacks happening.
I'm not sure why Dragonite with this skin looks like he has level 3 LP. It's just... I don't think this should be happening in Dota, but okay, he also looks like Wyvern a little bit.
Looks like a gargoyle, kind of. I don't know. Gotta really kind of look close on it.
You should run.
I was thinking he looked like something out of Elden Ring earlier, honestly. Like with his
Oh yeah,
regular...
the new creep looks like from Elden Ring for sure. Well, what's his name? Ancient Ice Shaman.
No, I mean like if you look at the skin right now on Nightfall, like just his regular melee form, it looks like something out of Elden Ring. I just also been playing too much of that. Scourge though, just kind of showing his back over here, is going to farm up the stacks, putting a little bit of pressure over onto Crit. The Mystic Flare not going to be able to connect though.
He tried, not an easy kill. But yeah, Scourge McDuck is going to be farming those stacks. They managed to kill him twice. Does he have Boots of Speed? He does. He does. He has one on the Courier and going straight into Aghanim Scepter. This is the big timing. Like they need to be able to do something with the Bristleback Crit using ulti, break mechanic. Not going to hit.
Just a little off the mark here. They do have the Arena. They don't have the Blink Dagger. They're getting closer to it. They tried to just buy some more time here over onto the tower, but they're going to go for a little bit of a follow here. Nice spear over onto Jerax. They'll be able to get that kill. Blinkhead's coming in now. Get the disarm off. No, they don't have anything to cancel out the TP though, so Nightfall will be absolutely fine.
Using Thunderstoid to get inside the arena and then TP out. Nightfall with some Giga Chad moves. DP's in front of them, knows that nothing can stop it, then getting very close to the Blink Dagger. Once he gets that, it's going to be much easier to initiate. As expected, Razor, talking about the items, he's going straight into BKB. He understands like there's a ton of magical damage and I can just run at people. The only thing I need to care about is getting grip before I can use it.
Blink Dagger is picked up for Mars now, so I think we'll be seeing some more aggression, especially once the arena is back online. And of course, just continuing to farm up here. A golden plate. Surprised that this middle tower is still standing, considering that there is a Pugnam. Blink Dagger picked up on Dragon Knight. That's going to allow him to have more initiation, which should be very useful with the follow-up, especially if he starts pairing up with Jerax. He's just getting a lot of information with this Shahuchi every time he goes through.
One stun from Dragon Knight into Sharpshooter. Like, these supports die. Like, even Bristleback needs to be very careful. For now, Scourge McDuck just being in the triangle, trying to farm up that Aghanim Scepter, 2,000 gold away. So I don't think they're gonna be able to look for a fight until Bristleback comes online. I mean, they could. I'm wrong. Mars has a Blink Dagger, so if someone from EG gets close to the tower, the spear back onto tier 1, into the full combo from Pugnam. But yeah, now Mars showed his Blink Dagger, so they might need to wait until Bristleback is online.
See a little bit of this invasion going on. They're trying to keep tabs on Scourge.
Radiant's middle tower.
Come through, and there it is. There's that blink like we talked about. They'll wind up with the Sharpshooter, but the Nightmare comes out from Overloom. Gonna buy a little bit more time. Good arena, but it's not going to connect over onto Jerax here. They still have the vision on him, though, and they will be able to clean up on Weaver.
They're okay with that, trading arena for Beaver. But yeah, they try to go on Bristleback, but there was a save. Overlom, end of game number 1, had some really nice Nightmare saves. Easy gets the deny on tower.
Another jump forward here. Good spear back, though, over onto the Hoodwink. Nightfall, though, should be able to find a kill over to Bigot. No, Bigot, he's still alive. He's still managed using. No, at last second he does fall, but Nightfall will pay for it with his life, as now Crit running away. They don't have that lockdown, though, necessary, so we'll be able to escape. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see, you know, the Bane just kind of being the shadow on this Bristleback while he's farming, just because that is kind of, you know, the main target, right? The person that EG wants to be keeping some tabs on, wants to try to disrupt. So if you can have some sort of save available, that would make a lot of sense and provide a good service here.
Pretty much. Like, the damage output from the cut is pretty insane if they use grip into Mystic Flare, like the damage got buffed by 50, but if you add up like the Ancient Seal as well and the Cripify on top of it, they can burst down pretty much anyone who gets caught inside of that combo pre-BKB. But there is a BKB on Razor.
Oh, that is a very dead Pugna. Didn't even need to pop that just yet. That's the team. All right, Jarrett's going a little bit far behind here. They get the silence, they have the dust, they can see this Weaver, but he's a pretty squirrely one. They do eventually find that kill.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
It's telling them, get back, we don't want to take any more of this fight right now. And EG happy with taking that middle tower. We'll back off a little bit. But you have some nice vision over here in the triangle that they're going to take advantage of.
As long as they're getting the farm, they still didn't use BKB on Razor. That's gonna be good. Nightfall as well on Dragon Knight, going for second item BKB. It's just, you know, kind of standard stuff, I would say, and especially in this situation, considering the amount of magic damage that they got on side of cut.
I mean, that was what the panel was very, very worried about, right? Was the idea of like, all right, they've got some nice things going on, but the second that they get those BKBs, the game starts to get very difficult for the cut until they can get the other parts of their heroes online here.
Now EG will try to get another fight and possibly turn that into Roche. Arteezy just finished his Deso on top of Armlet, has level 2 ulti. So that's a lot of damage that he can throw onto anyone, especially the supports. Like these supports melt 1 Dragon Knight stun into 2 right clicks from Wraith King, maybe even Sharpshooter. But let's see how the cut actually approaches this, because they have Bristleback Axe and they do definitely want to take a fight, because like this is their big timing. So both teams want to take a fight. I like this. So let's see who gets on top of it. Razor has a double damage in bottle and a 9-second BKB that he didn't use.
Making this rotation, they know that the Dragon Knight is bottom. They can see him on the creep wave, and it looks like he's going to be the target that they head towards. Of course, Nightfall realizing, no one's saving up in this lane. I think I should get out and rejoin my own team. So not going to be able to find that pick off in the bottom lane, but perhaps they can, you know, make this shift and get some damage over onto the tower. XCA just going and cutting the wave here. And he'll give a couple whacks over into the tower. Should be able to take this tier 1. Down it goes. BKB queued up for the Bristleback. We're getting closer to some other BKBs here as well. Yeah, it looks like Dragon Knight's working on it. It feels interesting the way that EG has been able to kind of dodge some of these fights, right?
Yeah, and now inside the pit, the cut managed to get a successful scan, so they know something's happening. Arteezy getting out of the pit immediately.
Oh, that's the question. Blink forward here. Silence to follow up with the arena over the backlash, but they have the BKB. Overlord trying to best. He's going to just get up that ultimate. Still going to die, as is Aid. Crit here trying to dodge around for the Mystic Flare, just barely making it around the corner. He got sitting so very low. As you can see, Scourge, he's trying everything. He's trying to keep those warpath stacks up. He's trying to just get up enough quills. Be able to take down Crit. Kids, though, is going to be left for dead. Yeah, and then that is just a team wipe pretty much on the cut. They had the buyback on the Bane, but it's too late.
And they got a good jump on Pugnam, which is exactly what they need to do. Nice Nightmare save once again from Bane, but he puts himself in a tough spot, and Pugnam with no HP is going to have a hard time like reconnecting into the fight. Yeah, this is the power of a BKB. We're going to see Abed coming in and just locking onto the target, gets a feed strip for a bit of a time to try to save Pugnam, but that was it pretty much, you know. And after that, Arteezy has definitely more than enough damage to deal with the bristleback, especially when he is turned around. So once those 2 BKBs are up, it's gonna be very, very tough for them to fight into. And the Razor decided to pick up the Aegis. You have Wraith King on the team who doesn't have reincarnation, but they're not gonna take a fight in the next minute. With the Blink Dagger, it's going to be much easier to lock onto the target. He can play with the Dragon Knight, insta-kill one of these 2 supports, and would you look at that? EG, once again, finding the Philosopher's Stone. It's just a great item for position 4. Hoodwink will definitely take it, and we'll manage to get another item if this game just doesn't end in the next 10 minutes.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Well, they have the advantage now over on the side of EG with that Aegis on the Razor. And I'm a little surprised that the Cut hasn't been able to make these aggressive moves. Like, their lineup really seems like it would lend itself to being aggressive, taking these towers very early. What exactly went a little sideways here?
Radiant's bottom tower is under
I
attack.
mean, they're trying. This is something what happened in the previous, the game number 1, where EG and the Cut kind of traded the towers, and it's the same thing happening right now. Tier 2, no one's gonna defend. Also, like Pugnam, his nether ward got changed, which means that the spell damage reduction instead of the damage done, which in this case is actually much worse, because all they have is pretty much physical damage, at least on all 3 cores, so you don't have to worry too much about the spell damage. And also, I see Shard. It's cool, but I don't think that Shard is good. I think it's more of a meme than what it actually does. Arteezy jumping in.
Yeah, he's jumping in. There's that Nightmare coming in, trying to buy a bit more time to go and use the Bushwhack over on the Bristleback. You have to be very careful that they don't have the break mechanic applied to him.
Mine is truly a
It will be his undoing, but they'll back off. EG already taking the tier 2 top, so they're pretty happy to come back, still have their tower. Abed over here in the mid lane, just going to continue to farm up as the rest of the Cut trying to figure out exactly what their next plan is and how they're going to be moving. What are we looking at here for items? Anything coming up here?
On EG side, Refresher very shortly, just one Void Stone away, and Dragon Knight needs 100 gold to finish off the BKB. Surprised they didn't give him BKB before they smoked, but I guess they wanted to use like where the lanes are standing, because the top lane's being pushed in, and they want to collapse on mid.
Yeah.
Jurex scouting things out.
Indeed, the jump forward here from Nightfall. The silence up over on Arteezy, but Kit's already sitting very, very low. Scourge trying to just lead away here, I guess.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Bit of a clumsy fight as they lost B-God.
Middle tower is under attack.
EKB's now coming out, and Mass Dragon Knight has one, as does Mars. But it just feels like EG's really just controlling the tempo of this game so handedly.
Yeah, we have not seen Arena, and this is their big team fight control ulti. So EG slowly choking out the map where the Cut can farm right now. We see them at the bottom part, and like this lineup will fall off, especially with the itemization. Pugnam decided to get a Glimmer Cape. I'm not saying it's bad, but it's one of the items that you kind of want others to buy it. It's a good item if you're also like putting the pressure, but in a defensive situation, it's really not that great.
I guess the only thing I can kind of think of is, you know, perhaps, you know, trying to be Scourge McDuck's just like his little battery pack, right? Trying to keep him alive and then trying to buy himself some more time with it. But yeah, it doesn't feel good considering this is a mid Pugnam. This is not, you know, the typical setup where you usually have a support doing stuff like that.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Listening to these voice lines, and yeah, to go back to meme Pugnam Shard, it's you know, not the greatest. You can use Life Drain on your nether ward, and then it goes on to every hero that is standing in 700 AoE off the ward and deals 70% damage. So not the greatest. I mean, you need some kind of a lockdown. And Jurex in this game has been like very active in terms of dying, and also very good at scouting things out and also fishing for any kind of information. Let's see if he decides to plant a ward on the high ground if they want to take this fight.
Do you see Arteezy here? Scourge running forward. Needs the rest of his team to follow up. The Bushwhack does connect. EG regrouping over onto the high ground. It feels like it's a bit difficult for the cut to find these openings. Dragon form getting popped over here on Nightfall, waiting for them to kind of show themselves, waiting to get any sort of strange positioning, but they have to be aware of that high ground with the rest of the cut standing where they're positioned. Let's see here.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
8k net worth lead right now for EG. Jerax again continuing to just get some of this information, throwing out the bugs over to Overlord. They know that he is one of those big lockdowns that are on this. Decrepify coming into play. No, it's not going to be enough to save them. Oh, Pugnam continuing to stack up. Okay, there's a nice arena here.
There's the damage.
There it is. That's what we're looking for. But the BKB overall to Abed. Scourge protected. Scourge having to run. He just seems to be melting like paper over here. They have anything to try to keep Scourge, but they do not. Abed just going to be allowed to just walk away after all of this, thanks to that BKB. Jump in coming out now from Arteezy to get kicks. They get Bigot. Bigot going to buy back right away. That feels like he shouldn't be allowed to do that.
Abed went through tier 3 tower in the mid lane, used 2 BKBs, 2 static links, and went out of the tier 3 tower on a bottom lane. A's gonna drop as well. They have more than enough damage. I mean, the break mechanic against Mars, against the Bristle, is gonna be good. This is the thing about the lineups that Cut are playing, where they have enough damage, always enough burst damage, especially with the Skyrat main, because we've seen, like, they initiate on a Dragon Knight, they use the arena and use the full combo, suddenly he's dead. Then he didn't want to pop BKB immediately, because then you're putting yourself in a tough spot. But for the next fight, you know, I think he's not gonna hesitate in just getting a BKB and getting a good jump.
Right, huh? EG, king of the jungle over here, definitely having a lot of control. Scourge, every time he shows up, it just feels like he can't do that much. He manages to get a lot of quills off, but he just melts at the same time. Very problematic.
Yeah, even with the BKB, these type of lineups, they tend to fall off very quickly. I mean, Bristleback with the shard, with the axe, he's gonna be good, but I'm a little worried about Pugnam. He's net worth not so great. He's in the middle of the pack, like Dragon Knight has more farm than him, and
oh dear, that is
again.
And that's their basic catch here for the side of the cut, because they, like you said, they have this damage, but they just have to have a way to hold people down into place so that way they can actually apply it. They either need to be tanky enough to stand their ground, or they need to be able to hold them in place and kite, and they just do not seem to have that really going on.
Gold is a great conductor.
Ceremonial rope gets down. Yeah, Kit's just feels like Kit's is a little lost as to what to do here on this hero at this point.
It was the last pick, Pugnam, but like the panel talked about, it doesn't seem like a very good game, and you know, maybe he felt, you know, this is it, this is how we're gonna beat EG, but so far it has not been working out.
No. EG continuing to just hit the creeps, take this map advantage, and make useful of it, and just keep checking on Roche too. Seems like they want to make sure they have they have a double damage now over on Arteezy. Feels like, yeah, okay, they'll go for a smoke play on the side of EG, making their way towards the top. You have a nice ward over there, and then they do have a sentry on top of it, so they will ping it out. Smoke play coming out from the cut. Looks like they're gonna go for the wide wrap. Be able to run into Abed first. Can they get the jump? Oh, BKB, and they refresh right off the bat here, right? Back away. Round play not being too successful here. The idea is good. Following up over onto Ovid. They do have Arteezy, though, just hitting their building. As now Scourge
That's gonna be
back.
instead of barracks.
They just take it, no questions asked here. And over on the side, they have a whole other skirmish going on over in the mid lane.
Even if they lose a hero or two, that's still gonna be fine, but it doesn't seem they're gonna lose anyone. AC plus Deso plus Skelly Bros, too much damage. And I mean, we can see some difference in the experience, like how they approach these fights. And this is what the, we haven't seen too much because there's always gonna be someone to defend, but hold that thought.
Kiss was getting jumped up. They do manage to find the hoodwink this time around, so there's not gonna be as much of that break mechanic being applied over, but Scourge is going to fall already. His aim already looking very, very low thanks to that Spirit Vessel and all the damage. Be able to take down Arteezy the first time, but they need to do more than that, and these are just the supports here. Overall, I'm going to follow up. They had the Mystic Flare. They just didn't have anything to hold them into place. As the jump forward over onto Nightfall into the base continues as B-God having to be careful. He is going to fall, and it's just little Kit. And yeah, it's still just little Kit standing all by himself. This is looking rough for the cut as Kit just gets the life drain off, but immediately the sun coming out from Nightfall will be able to follow up this war, just doing hardly anything to these guys as Kit will fall. The GG gets called. The cut, they put up a great fight earlier on. They managed to take a game off of EG, but at the end of the day, the Sleeping Giant, as Cap said, it awoken and was like, wait.